Joining us is Lincoln Mitchell. He's a political analyst and writer and an adjunct associate professor of political science at Columbia University. Thanks so much for joining us. First, Trump is gone. He's obviously left the White House. Do you think a Senate trial is important?
The Senate trial is, on the one hand, important because the Congress should send a clear message that inciting an insurrection is not okay. The House already sent that message, and now it's up to the Senate. Trump's role in that coup attempt, in what we saw at the Capitol, is pretty clear. Not just the speech he gave, but the disinformation campaign in which he engaged really for months preceding that. So it is important from that perspective.
And what do you make of the constitutional argument over the legality of prosecuting him after he's left office? Was that really ever the intent?
You mean convicting him in the impeachment after he...
Sorry, correct, convicting him.
Well, one reason that we are at this moment right now is because Mitch McConnell did not want to bring the Senate back on the 14th of last month. The 13th was when the House impeached. He could have brought them back, and we could have done this while Trump was still in office. So that was a decision Mitch McConnell made that it wasn't really important enough. The constitutional argument is pretty clear here. It is legal. It has been done in the past, not with presidents, but with judges. So the Republican point that this isn't constitutional, that's a political argument. I don't think it's a serious legal argument.
There's been talk of using the 14th Amendment, specifically Section 3, to ban Donald Trump from running for president again, something he can now do in 2024. Can you explain that? This, it seems, would need less Republican support to pass.
Right. So to convict on an impeachment, you need 2/3 of the U.S. Senate. So that's 67 votes because there are 100 members. There are 50 from each party right now. So you would need 17 out of 50. To ban him from running in the future, you need a simple majority, so that would only be 51. You would only need 1 out of 50. Obviously, that would be a lot easier to get. But I would add something here. I'm not sure this is a great idea. It should not be the job of the Democrats to prevent the Republicans from nominating this guy. That should be the job of the Republicans. If Democrats ban Donald Trump from running for office again, they are doing the hard work of the Republican Party for the Republican Party. So I'm not sure why the Democrats would even want to do that.
It's unclear how much of that work Republicans want to do. In Arizona, the GOP just censured some of the Republicans who've criticized Donald Trump. Aside from the political agenda behind that, do you think it's wise in a state that has an apparently shifting demographic and a state where the Republican Party seems to be losing votes?
No, I don't think it's wise. You know, Arizona was long a Republican stronghold, and not just a Republican stronghold, but really some of the most important Republicans of the last couple of generations. Barry Goldwater and, of course, John McCain came out. Barry Goldwater is the father of modern conservatism, for viewers that don't know that, and John McCain came out of Arizona. And now, both because of the rising Mexican-American vote there, which is growing in number, and also because more of the white people there are seeing things from a little more liberal perspective, are concerned about Trump, and it went Democrat this year. So aligning the Republican Party there even more strongly with Trump is not a good electoral strategy. But, you know, Arizona is not unique in that perspective. And it shows you just how strong Trump's hold of the Republican Party still is.
How much of a distraction do you think all of this will be from the Biden administration's agenda, particularly the first 100 days?
Well, that's a complicated way to think about this, because on the one hand, the job of the Biden administration from a policy perspective right now is twofold. One, get the vaccine out there to as many Americans as possible, as quickly as possible. And two, and a related point two, provide some kind of economic relief to a country that is still reeling from the COVID-related recession. And we see that in the $1.9 trillion kind of omnibus COVID relief bill. So passing that has to be the top priority. Now, the Senate can do more than one thing at a time. And to just say we're going to ignore what happened on June 6th and move forward, that's a problem. It's a problem for American democracy if we say a mob stormed the Capitol, but on balance, it's not that big of a deal, and we're not going to try to get to the bottom of it. So if Biden wants to unify the country, which he clearly does, and if he wants the country to put this episode behind them, this period behind them, not just January 6th, but the whole Trump era, we have to wrestle with how it culminated, which was the storming of the Capitol. So we have to do both. That's the best thing for America right now.
Lincoln Mitchell from Columbia University, thank you for your insight.
Thank you for having me.